How's it going, guys? It's Cole from See-Through Panel showing off my comic and manga haul from June 2024. I know we're well into July, but it took a while for the package to get here, and then it took a while for me to get stuff in order to make this video. So I'm not going to be spoiling anything in these books. I haven't read, I think, any of them. Yeah, I haven't read a single one of them, so I don't know anything about them. I'm going to be flipping through them, showing off the art, so if you're worried about seeing a spoiler, maybe read the book first, come back after, we can talk about it. So first book I want to show off is The Midnight Show, published by Dark Horse in a trade paperback, 4 issues. And let's get to the credits page here. I guess also retailing for, I'm rusty, $20 US, in case you're wondering the price. So not super cheap for a paperback. Script by Cullen Bunn, art by Brian Hurt, colors Bill Crabtree, and letters Jim Canville. From what I know of this, it is a classic monster movie romp, meaning it takes all of the classic monster movie or horror movie monsters, I suppose, like Frankenstein, Dracula. I don't know anything else that's going to be here, so I don't want to overpromise, but I know there's a lot of it. I'm only familiar with Brian Hurt from, it says it on the back here, The Sixth Gun, which I never actually read the entirety of. I'm not sure what Man or Black is. Cullen Bunn obviously has written a ton of stuff over the years, so I'm sure I've read quite a few things by him, but nothing that really comes to mind lately. So to me, this is basically a fresh creative team that I have pretty limited experience with. I think the art looks awesome, just pretty cartoony and not exactly what you'd expect from a horror book, which I think works well because this seems to be more of a non-serious love letter to those classic horror movies. And it's just kind of all about action and fun and featuring all these classic characters that people have come to love over the years. And maybe I'm not the exact target audience for this because I don't have a lot of knowledge about those monsters and things. But it looked like a really fun time, and it's only 4 issues, and it kind of just looked like a really fast read. And I've become a horror enjoyer, so I think I will enjoy it, but I just will lack a lot of that prior knowledge, which I'm sure is fine. Up next, Bloodrick trade paperback, published by Image, written, drawn, everything by Andrew Cranky, it could be anything, $15 US. Pretty sure he did everything tip to toe in this book. Pencils, inks, colors, letters. And the reason I got this is because I read the first issue digitally, and it seemed like almost a little less finesse James Stokoe style, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I mean, it's a little rougher than Stokoe, but it has a lot of those similar aesthetic choices. Like the shading here, you can see is just done with a million lines. There's not any spot inking or spot blacks. And it looks like a Conan story to me. I'm not sure if it's going to be, but it really feels that way. The first issue felt like that way a lot. It's very minimalist when it comes to dialogue and story, and it's all about really the action and what you see on the page. It's a lot of visual storytelling. And it just looks very original to me. It looks very indie, and I love to support a creator that does everything on their own, is the sole creator of this book. So Andrew really impressed me with this first issue. As you can see here, it's just mind-blowing art, tons of action, and what I assume to be a fantasy Conan the Barbarian-esque world. So I'm really digging this. I'm really excited to see this. And speaking of Conan, let's go to Toa Bang, because I could be wrong, but I believe the artist on this did a Cimmerian volume for Ablaze. So this is Toa Bang, I believe, published by Magnetic, hardcover, intended for mature readers, and retailing for $25 US. You can probably tell why it's intended for mature readers. So beautiful rounded corners like all the Magnetic hardcovers. The credits on this are going to be tough for me, I'm not going to lie, because they're all names I'm going to be horrible pronouncing. The art and color, I can't even begin. Casa Grain, I believe was an artist on one of the Cimmerian volumes from Ablaze. Fred Blanchard on concept art. Olivier Vatine and Daniel Picard, who knows, French, are the writers. So I have not a clue what this is. I bought it strictly on spec because of the art. It looks to be some sort of like pirate-esque fantasy world. We obviously have some fantasy races. It's not all humans. I have literally no clue. This is the book I know the least about in my stack of comics for the month. I'm not sure at all what this is. I just really, really like the look of the art. I think it looks classic but modern at the same time. I think Casagrain, if that's how you say it, does a lot of cheesecake stuff, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but I mean, it doesn't kill a book for me. And honestly, I have just no clue what this even is. The colors are so almost muted. There's a lot of vibrant color choices, but it almost feels like a classic, like, Jodorowsky Mobius pairing. Like, very European, I suppose, to have, like, this fade here to, like, a very washed out pale color into a very vibrant red. It's very strange to me, but I really love the aesthetic of it. Strange in a good way, I should say. And always I love the way water looks in art, so I'm excited to see some more pirate action. Tons of panels on that page. So that I'm pretty excited about. I really am... Ooh, bumped the camera. Really don't know what I'm in for on that one. Moonray, Book 2, Echoes of Ascension hardcover. Published by Living the Line, who I've been enjoying quite a lot lately. And this retails for $35 USD. It has a Jeff Darrow quote on the back and a Nick Pitara quote, Dave Sim. A lot of great names, Written, well, the credits are probably split up, so I don't want to get this wrong. Written by Brandon Graham, art by Brandon Graham and Giorgio G. Panalta, based on the characters created by Rodrigo Echeto. I'm not sure. I've yet to read the first volume of this because I wanted to let it stack up a bit, but for one thing, you can already tell the art's incredible. Brandon Graham is most known in my head for being a very trippy, world-buildy, complex writer who loves to make these very alien worlds and really try to stick to the internal logic of them. A lot of alien languages, a lot of strange anatomy. This here would be the Brandon Graham art. There's the color hitting. And just really trippy stuff that I've really come to love. It's not even psychedelic in the sense that some of my favorite European comics are psychedelic. It is very modern psychedelic. You can't expect a ton of explanation in books like this one, but you can expect a lot of heart, a lot of beautiful, beautiful art, and a story that I think inevitably will come together to be super, super compelling. I'm not seeing a lot of Giorgio Panalta. Maybe he doesn't... Let's see if I can find something like the first one. There it is. I think that's more him. That's the Bestiary. So I think this one has more Brandon Graham in it. The last one I thought was fairly split in terms of the workload of the art. I could be totally wrong, and maybe they're both collaborating on every single one of these pages. But I think this is the Panalta kind of style, where it's a lot more visually diverse, a lot more lines on the page, a lot more texture. Completely different, as you can tell. That is 100% him. And I don't think that's Brandon Graham. Yeah, okay. So he comes in for a sort of... Yeah, art by Panalta, writing by... Okay. I was wondering where the split was. So almost the entirety of this volume is Brandon Graham writing and drawing. So he must be energized, because I'm sure he could easily leave this to Panalta to do some art. It's not like they're on a monthly schedule here. But yeah, I've still no idea what this is. Kind of a theme for this month's haul. I've no idea, but it looks just gorgeous in both artist styles. After that, let's do the Uncanny Spider-Man Fall of X, obviously published by Marvel. Retailing for $25 US. I don't care about Spider-Man all that much. I don't care about Marvel all that much, or superheroes. What does interest me is Cy Spurrier on writing. Lee Garbett is a phenomenal superhero artist. Javier Pina apparently shows up for a little bit, which is going to be nice. Only reason I got this, I trust Cy Spurrier as a writer to make repetitive superhero storylines and plots actually unique and interesting and a little bit more substance than the usual. And also, I've always kind of had a fascination with Nightcrawler, but I really have never read anything with him featuring primarily in, like, I've never read a Nightcrawler solo series or an X-Men run that has him as a main character. And I know nothing about him really, besides he's religious, and apparently now he has a sword. And apparently also now he's cosplaying as Spider-Man. But I always loved the concept of his power and his aesthetic, and I think this concept has potential. And I know it was short-lived, and it's not probably coming back, but I'll definitely read this at some point. I really hope it's more of a standalone series and doesn't tie into a bunch of overarching X-Men stuff that just wrapped up with the Hickman era. I kind of just wanted like a Nightcrawler romp going around the city defending it, a la Spider-Man. I don't know if that's what I'm going to get, but I like the idea of it, I should say. I'm tentative, and I trust Spurrier, and Garbett's art is very nice. Quite samey in terms of the superhero style, but that's kind of what you get when you get a superhero book. You're not expected to, or sometimes not even allowed to, go absolutely bonkers, and that's totally fine. It services the story well. Next is probably the most beautiful book I've received this year. It's probably really hard to read on the camera because of the bright lights. It's called The Midnight Order by Matthew Bablé. Published by Magnetic because they make the best hardcovers. There's a bunch of credits here. Is this an anthology? 8-chapter tale about the Midnight Order, a secret society of witches. Interesting. Okay. I have no idea what this... Look at the pages, too. This is just amazing. Okay. So I love Matthew Bablé. I pre-ordered this. I know nothing about it. Magnetic makes the most gorgeous books. Okay. Wow. Chapters: Matthew Bablé, Alonva, Claire Barb, Mother Matthew Bablé, Thomas Rougier, Daphne Collignon. Names I have no idea about. So we're going to flip through this and see what's up, because I don't know what any of this is. This is a different style. There's a ribbon bookmark, too, which is really nice. This is very interesting. Very anime-inspired. We're just going to flip through this, and I'm not probably going to talk enough, but maybe that's a good thing for you guys. Just kind of looking at the different art styles. Extremely varied art styles. Wow, okay. This was not what I expected, but this is like kind of skyrocketing. Some prose in the middle, too. I don't know if it's Watchmen-esque world-building filler or process or what. That's Bablé. That's 100% Bablé. This is really interesting. This has kind of gone to the top of my list. This is so strange. So it's a Matthew Bablé-led... almost, it seems like almost an anthology, with the through line being this coven of witches in a modern world. That's Bablé as well, right? Maybe not. No, I don't think it is. No. I didn't think it was until I saw... That kind of got me thinking it was a little Bablé-like. Sorry if I'm talking downward. I'm just like enthralled by this. That's Bablé again. Anyway, yeah, that was kind of a shock for me to open. I'm gonna read that like really soon. Put that ribbon bookmark back in there. That was interesting. Okay. Expect a video on that soon. And lastly, we've got the Vinland Saga deluxe hardcover editions. Book 3, published by Kodansha, retailing for $54.99. And these also have a ribbon bookmark. This is a manga series that's set in the Viking era, I think. I haven't started yet, letting them stack up. And I know nothing about this story besides the first volume or so, so I don't want to kind of get too deep on this. I don't want to spoil myself. Not first volume, sorry, first deluxe edition. So I'm not going to look too much at it. I know it's like one of the most beloved seinen ever, and probably the first one to finish of the big three of Vagabond, Vinland Saga, and Berserk. I know that. You'll just have to wait for a video on that if you want to know more about it, because I don't want to spoil myself. That one I'm giving myself the spoiler warning. Get all these lined up nicely here. They're a little big to fit on the screen, huh? Yeah, it's fine. You saw them all. Thanks for watching. Sorry this one was kind of a mess. This has just happened to be a month where I don't know anything about any of the books that I got, really. Besides the, like, Spider-Man one, which is a Nightcrawler book. So that kind of just, like, makes sense with the theme of this month's haul. But next week, I think you're going to have a new video about either the first book of Moonray or perhaps this. Because this is, like, calling to me right now. Or maybe just whatever floats my boat. We'll see. But thanks a lot for watching, guys. Peace.